Today we're going to be talking with Tara Henry.
Tara Henry is the founder of Authors in Art, an art gallery located in Raleigh, North Carolina. But don't be fooled. She has more to offer than just her phenomenal paint parties. We're going to try and see if we can get Tara on the phone.
Hopefully she answers.
Hello?
Tara Henry,
Yes.
this is Kelvin Gervais.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good.
I'm over your side of town and I'm driving while black. Would you like to join me?
Oh, yeah. Come on.
Our destination is success.
I like that destination.
I heard that. We both do. So I'll be your way shortly.
Okay, see you in a minute.
See you shortly.
Bye-bye.
Let's go get Tara. Hello, Tara.
How are you today?
Magnificent. How are you?
Oh, it's a great day.
Say it is.
It's a great day.
Is it a great day in general, or is it a great day because you're an author?
Wow.
And an artist. Forgive me.
All of that.
All of that.
All of that.
All of that. How's your day going?
It's going good. Actually, this is one of the smoother days. I'm kind of scared because it's going so well.
Do you have anything planned for tonight or today?
I
What do you have?
do. I'm having actually my first public piece and paint art experience.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, first speak to everybody.
Hi, everybody. I know I just got in the car like
I
you
know.
just knew me, right?
and tell everybody who you are. Because I explained, I told your name before, and I said, authors in art, because of the studio, but it's much larger than that.
It is.
It is. It's much larger than that. So please explain
So
that.
I will. So I'm Tara Henry. Actually, the company is Pedagogy Art LLC, and Authors in Art falls up under the company because, of course, I have a couple other things that's in the works. They're a little hush hush right now because they're not fully developed. But
I know how it goes. Preach it to the choir.
Yes, but Authors in Art is the baby. That's the brick and mortar location because, of course, when I did it out of my home, it was just Pedagogy Art in home studio. Surprisingly successful. And I say surprisingly because, of course, people tell you what's in the works is in the works. But I did not see the vision at the time. I'm not going to say I did. I was just as shocked by the success as everyone else. And that's why I say this is a journey I'm on with everybody else. I might be in the front seat, but I'm not driving.
Why were you fighting the your own business?
Because I never entrepreneurship was not something that ever was really a concept.
I understand
there was something that was never spoken.
Yeah.
So of course we lack that. We lack that as being an option for real survival, just something we really should aim for.
Exactly right.
So I was always corporate, 20 plus years retail management. At that time, just being promoted and getting to the next level and having those nice paychecks was the goal.
Yeah.
But so some of that, actually a lot of that carried over into why it didn't just stay between me and my friends, because just naturally being a business person, it just kind of came out. It was just like, okay. And not even from the business aspect, because actually at the core of this thing is really I talk about community a lot. Before it was community, it really was about my relationships with my girlfriends. It was really about that was a time. That's how that grew, because we really enjoyed having reasons to spend time together. Break away from our normal everyday. It's like, okay, we're gonna meet and have coffee that was our time to kick back and just joke. So when this painting thing happened, it was like, oh yeah, this is the next level for us. We're expressing ourselves, we're having fun, we're doing something it was just a great time. So then I was like, other people I know are probably starving for this. Other girlfriends are probably starving for this. Like just times and reasons to get together. Okay. And it's not just we popped into the coffee shop.
Right.
I love that, by the way.
Right.
But there was some other point to it. We walked away with something. We actually walked away with canvas that we designed, that we painted, we created. It really just started off the entire thing as spending time with my girls.
Right.
Doing something and not having to have a big old budget to go out. Right. People always invite you someplace, but you gotta have some coin in your wallet to go.
Yeah, I understand.
We all lived in the same neighborhood. We could walk to each other's houses, so it was just stress-free and relaxing.
Right.
So that feeling, that moment, I wanted to keep recreating it. Right. And so I started inviting other people. And then, let me backtrack, because back to these trouble starting girlfriends. I said we were just gonna do this for us.
Yeah.
The 4 of us max. I wasn't going nowhere. Don't be telling nobody else.
Yeah.
The very next week, bring, hey, my cousin wants to do a paint party, but she wants to do it at my house, and she wants to invite, like her friends, and like a couple of our relatives are coming in town, so only your girlfriends. See, be testing your patience. So that was my first out of home, on the go experience. Was right around the corner at my girlfriend's house. Okay. So once you do a thing and you figure out how to do a thing, it's no longer a scary thing. It's no longer a problem. So I was like, okay, so I could go places. I don't want to, but I can. Now, so that was my first mobile experience. Right. Was the very next week.
Wow.
Girlfriend started trouble. So then, to the other girlfriend who lives right across the street. Hi, Diantha. She gives me a call and she goes, hey, so, some of my friends in the office saw my artwork and saw the, pictures and stuff, and I was telling them about you, so we want to have an office party at your house. So that was my first corporate girlfriend get together.
Impressive.
Was like probably the week or 2 weeks after that.
Impressive.
So once again, I got a taste of strangers being in my home and actually leading a larger group of people who didn't just love me. So, because when people love you, you kind of like, they just telling me this is good because they love me.
Because they love me, yeah.
They like this because it's us.
I understand. I tell people that,
yeah. But when it was other people, and I was like, oh, okay. So then that was a new sensation.
Because that new person, has no obligation to you.
Exactly.
So
they gonna tell you.
Yeah, like, this is boring as hell.
They be like, how you got us up in your house?
I know.
I know your girlfriend said your house is nice.
Not to fry chicken before we got here. How you know I want my clothes smelling like chicken when I leave your house?
They thought I had a maid service coming through that piece, okay? Because one thing I know how to do is stage,
I know
okay?
That's right.
I'm pretty sure my husband would like me to run my business back at my house again so we can get back to them standards. But it's sister busy. I'm sorry.
I heard that.
I'm sorry. But anyway, well, so no, it was very well presented, put together, but the feedback was phenomenal, and I was like, well, you know what? Ain't no reason to not do it more often. I really like to connect with people and interact with people. So my personal page is just open. But I like to keep people up to date, and I like to do the invites, and I like to share a lot of the magic that's happening, because the community and that's who's making the magic happen. So I think they need access to that imagery. The next person needs to really see, because you see so much fake on Facebook. I like to see how we're really doing this thing, and it's not always pretty. I had a break-in recently.
Yes, you did. I remember that.
I shared that experience because I'm not trying to pretend like every day is roses. It's really, really not. This thing is hard.
And people tend to think that, people tend to think as an entrepreneur, especially when we're talking, with black individuals. People tend to think that as an entrepreneur, just because you don't have to punch that 9 to 5 clock for somebody else, that you have it easy.
Oh, no.
And it's actually worse because you're up at 4 in the morning. You're up at 2 o'clock in the morning. There is no clock
because there's no set time because you're on call 24
Right.
hours a day.
Right, and and especially when you're doing it for yourself, and people know it.
That's right.
They also have a tendency. We're gonna go here a little bit.
Go ahead.
They have a tendency to not respect the hustle.
The hustle.
So I will get text at 11 o'clock at night. I know they ain't texting my competition at 11 o'clock at night.
Right.
But, you know, I get a being at 6 o'clock in the morning and they want to answer to something. And I'm like, I ain't even got my calendar in front of me yet.
Right.
So excuse them, I'm going to have to ask a little extra questions because right now, I haven't coffee yet. Forgive me. But I'm still going to respond and answer and interact because I get it.
Right.
I get it. And it's something that I set up. I set it up so that everyone to me is just not a client.
Exactly.
Which is, you know, most people like business is just business, but I'm sorry, this is not how
and
business works.
And there are circumstances where business is just business, but that's not how one should lead out, I feel.
Yes.
Especially when we're in a situation of rebuilding a community of black-owned businesses. We kind of can't be in that, you know, vein.
You just business. I'm like, no. And so a lot of my relationships, they become friendships, you know, which is cool. It's really cool because my girlfriend, I know she was tired of me only calling her every day.
Yeah.
I used to call one friend and my mama.
Yeah.
If I talked to them two for the day, I was done. So now you know.
Shout out to those friends that support, those friends and that family that does support, even if it's just words. That y'all don't know what that really means.
That means a lot. That
people,
really means a lot.
People take that for granted. It's not even necessarily, you know, the support. And I'm gonna tell you something that's happened to me the other day. I know this is your interview.
No,
you know,
this is gonna be a little different.
And I'll say her name. Her name is Brenda High Sanders. Brenda, you know, is with Raleigh Nursery School. You know, I'll tell you the history of that. But you know, Ms. Sanders has known me since before I knew her. She knew me. Let's put it that way. Okay. And we were talking the other day, you know, and at the end of the conversation, when she was getting ready to hang up the phone, she said, okay, sweetie, you take care of yourself. Call me if you need me. And that rang out so loud to me because that is so rare that I hear somebody at the end of the conversation say, call me if you need me.
Yeah. And mean it.
And mean it.
And mean it.
And I know I know she meant it because when I've needed her in the past and have called her, she was there. Yeah. She was right there. So, you know, just people calling sometimes and people saying these words, it goes to what you were saying. It's magical.
It really is.
You know, I'm not expecting my, you know, that friend and that family member to put $25 in my pocket every week.
You know,
you see what I'm saying?
I
would appreciate it. Yeah, I would appreciate it.
I actually had to pull back some of I called them my regulars, but they were there when it was just in my house.
Right.
When it was just, you know, and so they encouraged me to do the brick and mortar, and they were trying to be there all the time for everything. And I could see, I was like, I do not expect y'all to keep to be the only people, you know, that helped me build this thing. But it was beautiful that they wanted to, and when they couldn't make it to something, they were so apologetic and they felt so bad. And I was just like, no, you don't even understand. The fact that you have this passion for my thing, for our thing, is what I need. So even speaking to, you know, shouting you out a little bit in the car, there's been many a day, speaking of, you know, social, we know, you know, Kelvin's a little bit, you know, he a rebel with all kind of causes, and he a fighter, and some of his posts on Facebook be a little, you know.
I think I lost some friends this morning.
That's all right. They'll come back. They'll be curious. They'll come back.
I don't know.
You know, he a little blunt with the truth. But sometimes, because on my page it's usually happiness and joys and rainbow and sunshine, because that's the lane I'm in.
That's right.
Now, I want to create
and we need that lane.
Yeah, and we create that.
It's balance. It's balance.
But a sister, being real, you know, something get on my nerves sometimes. You know, things don't be going right in the business sometimes. Somebody try me sometime, and something he'll post will just like be right there, and I'll be like, you know what? Don't comment. Yes, comment. Don't comment. You know what? God wants you to comment. That's why He made you see this today. So go ahead and comment.
God sent you to my post.
God sent you to the post. He said, go check him out. He got something for you. He gonna let you unburden this right now. So no, I'll comment, but because of this relationship thing we're talking about, he'll hit me up behind the scenes and go, okay,
Yeah,
what's going
that's right.
on?
You
Like,
all right?
he like,
Yeah.
you already like, what's going on?
Yeah,
Because like, he'll know that that's not my, it's actually characteristic because I'm, don't let the trees fool y'all, the art stuff. It's sister from Jersey, okay, and I got genetic issues. But keeping it real. But I tried to, I got things in place to keep the peace and stuff with myself because I can't let people get me riled up.
Right.
But it happens. But
Right,
because
it
of the relationships that we build, and we do this intentionally, and we would love to do this for more people.
Mhm.
It's not just read that and keep moving.
Right.
He knew to look a little bit past that, like, okay, something wrong. And I would tell her, look, a sister tired. I'm here for the community, but the community ain't being here for me right now. And I'm
Right.
like, why? And
That's
he's
how
like,
we
he
feel
would come with Jack's chicken wings. We'd sit down and break some wings and be like, sister,
Right.
look, you can't quit. Like,
Yeah, you
that's
can't
like,
quit.
but the way he would say it's like, that ain't even an option. Like, I don't even know why you processing such a thought. Like, you can't, so let's fix this.
Mhm.
So you need people like that on your days because you're going to have days where you are just feeling defeated. You're just feeling tired. You feeling angry. You feeling wore out. You're like, why am I working so hard for who? Like, I don't see it.
Mhm.
But it's coming. Those are the bricks. Those are the bricks. Like there's all kind of memes and sayings and stuff. I ain't gonna get in all those. But reality, you need people who just encourage you.
You have to have that.
They're paying attention.
Yeah.
So I try to be that person for a lot of people, but I need those people too. So I appreciate you.
Mm-hmm. No problem. And I appreciate you too, because you're always right there, with support for anything I come up with, And,
Now, little side note, something else Authors in Art has done. With Dr. Rita Suter, I've actually done an art session in this women's prison.
In this women's prison.
Right in that building right there.
Yeah, we're on State Street, y'all.
We're on State
just in case,
Street.
for my Raleigh folks.
Yeah, we're taking a drive through the neighborhoods. But I actually did my first ever art session with the women's prison. And that was a beautiful experience. I actually, if you go in my studio, I have a printout of the art design we did, and they all signed it. So that sits on the side there.
How was that?
How was it?
How was it?
It was actually
because
it was
we hear,
great.
when we hear incarceration, we know there are women locked up, and incarcerated. Yet, we always tend to hear about the men and the mass incarceration and that. But what were your experiences with, as it pertains to even art, and how did you connect with some of them in there behind it? Were there other artists in there? Or?
No, and you know what? They get, I think it's like every 5 weeks or so. I'm not exactly sure about the program, but I think every 5 weeks they get like a random date where they're allowed to do something that's not structured by the program that Dr. Rita Suter has. And Kimberly Guest is very involved with that also. But it was great because, of course, there's all different personalities in the room. They're there for all different kinds of reasons. But it could have been women I was in Walmart with. They just was regular folks. There was rules, and they all dressed the same, and there was restrictions, getting in and what I could bring in and that kind of a thing.
Of course.
But once again, once you start painting, it doesn't matter where you are. Because we start out together, but at some point it becomes very individualized. And it was great to see them having fun. It was great to see them digging deep. It was great to see them challenging themselves, because a lot of them, this was like another thing. Like, okay, like, I'm not an artist, and this person coming up in here with their frilly art, and we in a prison situation. But at some point you just forget all of that. You forget all of the levels and layers and labels and misconceptions of artists and misconceptions of women who are in prison, that they're all monsters or evil or whatever. They're just women who, for various situations, ended up where they are.
Right.
And this was minimum security, so this wasn't the max prison up the hill.
Yeah.
These women are actually mostly on their way out. But it was just, that's why I love what I do, because the art just connects on the basic level. You don't have to be anybody in particular to get something out of that experience, and they were just a pleasure. By the time we were, because you're not supposed to touch, but everybody wanted to hug. I could feel the hug. They wanted to go in, but you're not supposed to touch. So it was the same beautiful energy that I have with all my artists. It was great.
All right, so before we end it, please let everybody know where you can be reached, contacted, addresses, physical brick and mortar address, as well as digital addresses.
Okay, so we're gonna start because social media is hot. So I'm on social media, of course, on all platforms as Authors and Art, or Pedagogy Art, because they're both me. Facebook, Tara Henry. Look up Tara Henry first. Won't miss this face, and there's art everywhere. That is the best way to stay connected, quite honestly. Authors and Art is also a Facebook page you can find on there. authorsandart@gmail.com is also a very good way to reach me. I don't live in this building because I got lots to do. So don't just try to pop up and be like, oh, but you wasn't there. No. Reach out to me socially first. I live close by.
Yeah, I got to call first and be like, oh, you at the studio? You gonna be at the studio today?
I'll pop over. It's not, if I'm available, I'm coming over. You know, we can sit down and we can manifest some things. The address, Authors and Art, is 3303 Rock Quarry Road, Suite 103, Raleigh, North Carolina, 27610. The phone number to the studio is 984-200-7559. But like the best way to do is my website. It's authorsandart.com. And there's a contact form on there where you can share, reach out. That's the best because that's going to send it to my email address and a bunch of other places. So website is the best. Yeah.
That's it?
That's probably, I'm probably missing something. I'll catch it up later. But well, yeah, just reach out.
Yeah, well, thank you for most definitely talking with us. Thank you for driving while black, and I know most definitely you're gonna reach the destination of success.
But you, and when I say you, I mean all of you.